So Natalie, tell me about your epilepsy story.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I had my first seizure the summer before my senior year of high school.
Okay.
So plans were forced to change at a very, I'm a young adult. I'm going to move forward, and all of these plans was forced to come to a halt. So after realizing that staying home with parents because we're still trying to figure out what medications can work, what kind of life does this actually look like, because we knew about epilepsy but didn't know the details, didn't know that seizures could be a bunch of different types.
Right.
I have in my temporal lobe.
Okay.
And so, focal, whatever the
Focal motor?
focal, the official term,
Complex partial.
complex partial.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so, tried all the meds possible, and they just weren't.
Controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we, let's see.
And you weren't a
And-
surgery candidate.
Oh yeah, we did a bunch of tests. Went through a bunch of medical tests. Finding out I wasn't a surgery candidate. Medications weren't controlling the seizures. And this took years to discover. My year coming here
22.
in 2022 was we are coming to the expo to see the people. To see my people.
Find your tribe.
Yes.
Because we had been coming since 2016.
You had.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
what
just-
year were you diagnosed?
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's when you were a senior and
Yep.
get ready to go take the world. And
Yep. And instant pause mode. What? Okay. So, entirely trying to not prosper, not propel, process. Yeah, process the way I'm going to proceed. Yeah.
In 2022, we came here.
Yeah, 2022 came back to see my people, see the unrelated family of mine, and had a cluster right before the doors opened that morning.
Here?
Yep, in this building, was clustering, and so I was guided by my parents to sit down because it was right before the doors opened. So we had to go and find a spot to sit down. My clusters were just kept going.
And what
going.
happens during your cluster?
Auras, which is tickle tummy, nausea, burning chest to burn back, and then it would get to burn throat as well, and freezing. The feeling that I'm going to see something horrific in front of me. Can't actually see anything, but tears just fall out. And I had the feeling that I'm seeing something horrific, but I don't actually see it. And had the feeling that impending doom just was something was behind me, and it was horrific. So I was having that cluster on the side, and then Brad came over, started asking my parents questions. I was, I don't know what the questions were because I was frozen and,
Right.
had horror happening. And so he started asking questions, and then Katie, the
volunteer.
volunteer, came up and said and told me about the story of hers, and said, "Hey, go to this room at this hour. I'm telling a story. Is when they were telling. Sophie was telling her story, and a couple of more people were telling their stories with epilepsy. And then she said, and then after that, in the same room, will be a surgeon, Dr. Verdera. Just come in, sit in that room, and we'll see. So, we go into that room. I'm like, okay, why not? It's, you know.
What do you guys lose?
Yeah, what do you got to lose? Yeah, right. And so, during the talk, I was asking him, you know, a bunch of questions, you know, because he's talking about surgery. So I'm just like, okay, what about this? All right, what about this? You know, and then afterwards, just walked out of the room with him, told him, you know, my whole story. And at that time, my epileptologist at the time started believing that 90% of my seizures were non-epileptic. And so he's like, well, you have epilepsy. Even if only 10% of them are epileptic, you have epilepsy. You know, and so he's like, moving forward still, you can state facts, but be hopeful and joyful while you're stating facts, which I had never had a medical team that had done that before. So it turns out, yes, I have a new medical team. My seizures were located in my amygdala, temporal lobe, and hippocampus.
Okay.
And so I got a temporal lobectomy
Okay.
last year. Yeah?
23.
Yeah, last year.
And did it go well as far as the surgery?
Amazingly well.
Good.
Amazingly well. I still have auras. They're far more faint than they used to. It's like tickle tummy now. And so I'm still working on like, that doesn't mean horror is gonna come, because that part of my brain doesn't exist anymore. I don't freeze anymore, don't have the horrific feeling in front or behind anymore.
Wow.
So it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Praise the Lord our God. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I'm still learning the fact that aura doesn't mean that the rest is going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how does your dog help you?
So he alerts before the seizure. And so since I still have the auras, he says, Nat, don't worry, you're gonna have the aura, but it don't happen anymore. So he alerts before they happen. Scent trained.
Yeah.
And then does deep pressure therapy as well. He's a genius. He's a genius.
So, what if you had somebody you knew who had epilepsy? What would you tell them about coming to this event? Be here.
Yes. It's a lot of information, which can sometimes be overwhelming. So, like, don't like force yourself to get, you know, try and grasp it all at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that part of it, education, as well as a huge part of it for me is, like I stated earlier, seeing my unrelated family.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of
I
it
mean,
for
such
me.
a feeling of support and
Yeah.
they understand
Yeah.
you and you
Yeah.
understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they ever find out what caused you to start having seizures in the first place?
No.
Nothing in your history or?
No, she had genetic testing done and everything, but it's possibly from an injury.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no proof.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how are you doing as far as your day-to-day life? Are you able to
Right,
carry
moving
through?
forward. I'm still learning
Yeah.
what my new reality is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future must be so bright for you.
It's amazing. Yeah.
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 That's
It's amazing.
That's wonderful.
Like I'm still learning what joy feels like.
There is. And we all have our journeys, don't we? I mean, I've had my things, and if you can kind of embrace what it is that you're dealing with, I mean, nobody wants any of these things. Nobody. I mean, life is what it is, and you got to make the best. And
Yeah.
and it looks like you're doing that. You just radiate joy. You're so beautiful. You're welcome.
Yeah. And I know that God can use all things for good.
Yep.
So that even though I've been through hell and back again, I can be, even like it's happened several times, even on the way here this year, I met a gal who is, this year is her first time attending, and she recognized it because I had a sticker on my water bottle that said Epilepsy Awareness Day, and they're like, oh, that's what we're here for, that's what we're coming for, it's our first year. And so we were able to have a conversation in the elevator.
Yeah.
Right when yeah.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, so moving forward and like helping people who are on this journey as well, not because my journey is over.
No.
I'm still living,
I know.
I still got orders and still learning how to live life, move forward in a way that I did not expect.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're here, and
Yeah.
You look amazing.
Thank you very much.
I know I just met you, but you just walk up and there's so much happiness in you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you guys would like to add to this story, or?
This year is the first year. Just a little while ago, she was stopped with Sophie at the table over there.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, we're just going to continue walking. And I turned around, and I didn't know where she was at. And I was like, this feels so good.
Yeah.
She's come so
More freedom
far.
on both ends.
Yeah, she has her
Off on her own.
independence, and it's amazing. We're just so thankful.
Yeah. So many things to be
Yeah,
thankful
we're
for.
so thankful for everything.
Yeah.
For everything he's done, and every sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah, Brad's done an amazing
Yeah,
thing here.
it's incredible, and we're very, very thankful. Still thankful for her new medical team.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah, so we fly down to California for all her medical treatment, but it's worth
Something that
it.
you look forward to
It's
every
worth
year.
it.
Yes.
It is so
Yes.
worth it, and just having a team that actually believes in her, and we're able to locate those deep seizures that were happening, and I knew that they were epilepsy seizures that were happening, and for them to find them and have surgery, and they told her right from the start it was going to be 60 to 80% improvement, and that's right where she's at.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's success.
That is success. And there's so many new medical advances
Yes.
every
Yeah.
year that
Yes, and that's why we even if become what's come again, because stuff is advancing. We've seen it since 2016 how much stuff is advanced.
yeah.
You can't possibly know or learn everything in one trip.
No.
Just like for
No.
our story is an example of that.
Yeah.
It was several years into it before we met Dr. Badera and his team.
Yeah.
So you
And
really
is he
can't
the
catch it all
doctor
at one
that
time.
you started?
Surgeon.
Yeah,
He's your
my,
surgeon?
yeah, he's my surgeon.
Okay.
So I have a epileptologist, Dr. Natalie.
Yeah. That's
And they're
great.
fantastic.
Yeah, there's so many good resources.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Things to be
Yeah,
thankful
can be genius in your work and be hopeful and
Relatable.
really,
just-
human at the same time. They don't like heighten themselves above you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, love my new team.
Well, you're going to make an impact. The fact that you're sitting right here sharing your story openly, and there's other people that need to hear this, and that can ride on your coattails. And attitude is so much of how you react to things. It's not what you're given, it's how you respond and how you embrace it or don't, I guess, but it's there, Yeah.
There's too many people walking alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Feeling isolated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than like coming here, be in the community. And, like nobody's exactly the same, but they
Right.
understand at least a bit of where
Right.
you're going through.
Right.
Yeah. So there's automatically a base level where you can just look in their eyes and know. Yeah.
That's exactly.